Good day, everybody, and welcome to another episode of DOD45. I'm Tai of Art by Tai, and with us, as usual, is Adrienne. Hi, Adrienne.
Hi.
All right. Well, so we got somebody on today. Do you know who we have on today?
I do. It's bad Alexander Brown.
What is
Baddest man in the whole damn town.
What's that from?
Badder than the deep blue sea.
Bad Leroy Brown.
Badder than you and me.
That's, yeah. What is that? Yeah, bad Leroy Brown, badder than the...
I'll let you figure it out.
Deep blue sea. Shoot, I don't know.
Right? That's how we...
But it is Alexander Brown.
Taking a deep dive into my B-sides. I only play the hits while they're looking for a place to sit. Shake your hips, let the flame grace your lips. Wait or shift from a kiss made of bricks. Now that the musical charity case is seated, anyone else notice the walls bleeding?
Yes.
But hey, before we get into him...
Yeah.
Remember the other day I sent you, I shared a National Geographic photo on your Instagram.
Yes.
The robot lady standing in front of the pyramids.
Yes, the robot lady that someone made to be an artist.
Yes. So her name is Ada, and she's named after a female mathematician. She does drawings, paintings, and sculptures, and she draws from sight using her camera eyes and her bionic hand. I'm just curious, as an artist who makes money or they're living.
I'm not a fan
of your vision and your ideas. What do you think of Ada?
I'm not a fan of Ada. I think it's the stupidest thing I really do. I think it's fucking stupid, and if it was an artist that made her, like, that's cool. I'd like to give props to the artist that made her.
It was done by the University of Oxford.
Yeah, then what's
England.
The fucking point? What we have to art is about a human's experience, and what you're visually looking at, you're seeing what another human has experienced in life. A robot painting. I don't give a shit. I think it's stupid, and I don't care. I'm not worried about, I'm going to be out of a job. I don't care about that. I just think it's a stupid waste of money and a waste of time and a waste of everything. When I saw what you sent me, I was like, I don't have anybody. I'm glad you brought it up because I have no one to really spew to about that, but it's just stupid.
Well, apparently she had quite the time getting into Egypt. They held her for 10 days as spyware.
Well, I wish someone would have stuck a bomb in her box. Blew that shit up. Well, I guess.
But she can do sculptures. They did a good job figuring her out. I'm not into AI. That's why I dropped Facebook. I didn't even trust their facial recognition stuff.
It's not even the AI that bothers me about it. It's that it's what's being used for to create artwork, and that's just stupid because it's not even artwork anymore.
Do you feel like it's a printer, or what?
No. No, a printer's printing some artwork that someone created. So look, if someone...
No, I mean just in general, if her eyes are a camera and she is drawing something she's seeing, it's like an Instagram filter. She can change it to look like a drawing.
Not really.
So kind of a printer.
That she can print it out, but even still, what we print out, a photographer captured the image, or someone drew it, or someone painted it, and then they got that printed out. But you mean like a Xerox printer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's like a Xerox machine.
Or a 3D printer in a way that, similar in the way, you say, okay, you take this sculpture and say, okay, make me a sculpture just like this. And then she makes you.
Right. But so
that would almost be like...
Even with the 3D printer, if someone created the design that it was printing out, I'm a fan of that. An artist created it and it's being printed out. But if it's just a scan of something that if there's no human involvement about it, then what was that? You know what?
I just dug something on my teeth.
No, look. I saw something.
Oh, is that how you got the thumbs up again?
I don't know. I moved my
again?
hand. No, and it said something like, wave your hand if you want. I don't know.
Speaking of AI.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's not giving me the thumbs up.
I don't know where the thumbs up keep coming from. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. If an artist, if it was something where the case was like an artist painted something, drew something, and then they like injected it into her, what the artist created, and then she repainted that, I'd be cool with that. It's basically like a printer or something like that. I'd be cool with that. But a human, that artwork came from a human. It came from the thoughts and experiences of a human.
But when you collaborate everything that's on the web, then that's everybody's information. It's like a crowdsource of information. And then she filters through that and decides in her AI mind
I don't care in her AI mind. Even her just taking all the stuff that's like algorithms and shit. There's still not a vision of a person. It's like it's not the vision from one person. It doesn't come from an artist's experience. So I am fucking against it. I think it's the stupidest thing. Pardon my French. I know, but
that's not French.
There are some things that that
make you mad.
Definitely, I want to drop the F-bomb. Certain things like that. So, yeah, okay, thanks for bringing that up. So yeah,
I brought that up because on Alexander Brown's latest album, you were the cover artist.
That's right. I did the cover art for Alexander Brown's newest album coming out, or it's out now.
He could have had Ada do it.
Fuck Ada. Yeah, he could have, I guess, and it would have just been shit. But yeah, we'll talk to him about that a little bit, about how we hooked up and how I ended up doing that album cover for him. I think it turned out pretty awesome. So you want to know a few things about Alexander Brown?
Sure. Yeah. I looked him up. I tried to find him, and I type in Alexander Brown in my search engine, and then up comes Alexander Brown, Danish DJ. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's a Dane. I'm so excited. We can talk about Denmark the entire time. But I think there are two.
They are DJs. They are definitely different people. And Alexander Brown is a producer. Oh. And Alexander Brown is also spelled all caps ALXNDRBRWN. One.
Yeah. Why do people want to get rid of vowels all of a sudden?
Well, I don't know. We'll ask him out. I don't know. I don't think it's I'm not sure how he decided to come to do that. But it makes it interesting. For me, I look at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know, something interesting about it. There's very little to find out about him online. Know. Yeah, it's almost like I saw one podcast with him or something. It was like his first one, and I think his only one till now. Oh. But he had said he really liked being the man behind the scenes. So there are certain people like that.
Is this the first time he's been a producer? Is this his first
album? No. We'll find out more about him. But it's his first time. He likes to be behind the scenes as the producer, mixing the music, making the music. He doesn't necessarily like to be out front. So was he usually a rapper? No, never a rapper. Never.
So then what?
A producer produced the music, created the music.
If this was his first time behind the scenes, isn't he a producer always?
No, I'm sorry. It's not his first time behind the scenes. He always enjoyed being behind the scenes. He doesn't like being up front and being but yeah, like a director or something. Anyway, so he has a pretty, I don't know if it's extreme case, but he has tinnitus.
Tinnitus?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. So here's what I learned. It's not pronounced tinnitus.
If you're in the United States.
Nope. It is, doctors pronounce it tinnitus. and he has it, and he's been. I know. Look, ask him about it.
No.
I was like, I heard him mention it, and I was like, that sounds so weird to say it like that. And he said his doctor told him. So I went and looked. How do you pronounce tinnitus?
Tinnitus.
You can say it all you want. That's not the correct way to pronounce it.
Tinnitus. You do want to stress on the first syllable, the T syllable. Tinnitus. No.
But also, look, he's from Baltimore, so they and they say Balmer. But no,
they say Baltimore.
No, I know. They also say Balmer.
What does that even mean?
Well, no, I'm telling you, it is tinnitus. I looked it up.
What's Balmer?
Balmer.
Like a baller?
Balmer.
Oh crap!
He's on, but he can wait. I'm gonna tell. Okay, so anyways, so that was my big discovery that's how that's pronounced. He does live in Balmer, Maryland.
Oh my gosh!
Where when your hands are dirty, you wash them with water.
Oh, he's not from the country.
I'm telling you, that's. So listen, what do you know about Baltimore, Adrienne?
I know that they like hairspray, and
you know why they like hairspray?
Yeah, because they get on stage and do some civil rights.
And John Waters is the director of that movie, so that's going to come up later on today. Their NFL team is named the Baltimore Ravens. Do you know why that?
I don't know. It should be seagulls.
Well, it's Baltimore Ravens because Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Their state sport is jousting. Go figure. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the two states to give up land to form Washington, D.C. back in 1970. That was Delaware and Baltimore. They gave up land so that they could form Washington, D.C.
They got lucky.
One final other thing. It's the Star Spangled Banner was wrote in Maryland in 1812.
I was roten.
Yeah, you can go ahead and let him in, but listen, he's a skateboarder. He considered dropping out of school to become to work on his skateboarding, and he's just released his new album cover, his new album called Glow Kid. Sorry, which I did the cover for. So go ahead and let him in, and we'll say hi to.
We'll take a quick break from our sponsor.
We'll take a quick break for our sponsor, not from our sponsor.
Oh. Okay, obviously I don't pay attention. Okay, bye. We'll be right back. Are your walls blank and begging to be decorated?
Uh-huh.
Or are you tired of having art that is basic?
Yes.
It has never been easier to purchase art that is just as unique as you. At artbytai.com, you can find art prints and original pieces of artwork done by master pen artist Tai Adrienne. But that's not all. You can also shop ready-to-hang limited edition art and a new children's book, as well as coffee table books. So don't spend another moment looking at walls that don't reflect who you are. Go to artbytai.com today.
Do it now. All right, Brown. Well, thanks, Brown, for joining us on the show.
Where does the brown come from?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, where does the brown come from?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the brown actually came from high school, because I used to be really dark all the time. My complexion was really dark from being outside skating all the time, and I tan real easy. Like if I just go out in the sun for like a day, I'm super tan. And all the kids in high school would make fun of me because I would stay tan through winter. And they would be like, why are you always tan, fucking brown kid? Like, it was like, it started out with people making fun of me because I was like tan all the time.
And but you're ethnically, you're white skinned.
Yeah. So
Mediterranean descent.
Are you Mediterranean? Oh yeah, that what you say?
Well, probably in that region. I would guess.
To be honest, I don't know. Like, I know that, like, on my dad's side, like my grandfather is Polish, and then my grandmother is Austrian.
Oh.
And my mom's side, they're German and Cherokee Indian and some other things.
Have you never done a spit test?
I've never done a spit test.
Are you ever interested in doing that?
I am interested in doing that because I feel like they're missing something when they're telling me, like, you know what I mean? Because like I don't look like everyone else in my family.
Right.
Like I don't look like, I mean, I look like my dad a little bit, but like still like everyone is, I guess I get my complexion from my grandmother, my dad's mom. She was a little darker.
Yeah. Well, that's I think you should do it. It's interesting. I
You
haven't done
wouldn't.
mine, but
Yeah, I need to, man. I really do, because I don't even think they know what's going on.
You've had yours for like 5 years.
me? Yeah. My mom gave all the kids spit tests for Christmas one year, like 5 years ago, and I still haven't even done mine.
Oh man, you gotta do it. I'm kind of scared to do it though.
Yeah, I did it, and then I had like, it was awesome. I loved it, and then I hurried and had the data deleted.
Yeah, but
I get creeped out. I don't know.
she doesn't even like being on the podcast. She's
No.
like, "Can you every chance you get, just like take me off of the."
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I sent him a text last night. I'm like, you should probably just edit me out of that whole thing.
Yeah,
I used to be like that too. Like I never liked to show my face on anything, or like hear myself talk on anything. Like, oh god, I sound terrible. Like,
yeah. We were just talking about that in the intro. How there's not a lot of information about you out there in the interwebs.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
I guess that's probably a good thing. Maybe, I don't know.
maybe, I don't know.
My feeling is I'm just gonna die before any of the information about me is gonna even matter anyway. So
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll still be alive.
There's one thing out there on the internet about me. Like if you search my real name, then you'll find my first credit, like my first audio credit ever.
oh, nice. Well, I was up pretty late watching you rap with it seems like it's one of your boys, someone that you maybe knew back in the day, but on the Elk Lodge podcast.
Yep, yeah, that's my buddy Paul. Yeah, we lived with each other for so long. Like we were roommates for a while, and I originally met him in Orlando, where I used to live. I went to school down there.
So, were you from Orlando originally, and then you moved to California?
No, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I moved to Orlando for school, and then
At university.
and then I went to Full Sail University, and then I moved back to Maryland for a little bit, and then all my friends moved out to LA, and they're like, "Hey, we got a room if you want to come out." I'm like, fuck yeah.
So it's awesome to finally be chatting with you in person and face to face. Sort of face to face anyway.
Yeah, dude, I'm so pumped on this. I'm so excited to see what you draw up and just talking with you, man. Because we, like you said, we've just been like exchanging words through texts and stuff. Working on the album cover and everything.
I went through them. I went through the backlog of our messages to each other just to refresh, like exactly how we ended up hooking up. So that was kind of interesting. That'll be it. I'll sprinkle some of that into while we're having a conversation about stuff. But how have you been? How have things been going?
Good, man. I made the Glow Kid thing, and then I just kind of been really excited about giving that to people, and it came out, and it was cool to see people's reactions to it, and a lot of people hit me up about it, and told me that they liked it, and so that was cool. It raised my spirits on releasing music and everything. Like,
were you stressed? So yeah. Glow Kid is out, so congratulations on that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Were you nervous at all prior to its release, or did you feel pretty confident that this was the bomb record that I think it is?
I didn't even think about it like that. After the Alex Brown project, I had a little bit of downtime, and then something just clicked in my head to just make a bunch of beats, and I did. I pretty much made the album in 2020. Summer of 2020, within like a month a month of just making a bunch of beats, and then I put them in order. I did all the transitions and everything. Everything was done instrumentally in summer of 2020.
And then it didn't even come out until this November 5th.
Yeah, well, that we were working on like the features and everything, but like I did the album and I sent it to Sage, and he really liked it a lot. And we were both like, God, it needs something though. It needs a little something else. So then we got Buddy Peace to do the scratches on it, and it felt even better. And then I was like, dude, like we need to just have like everyone rap on it.
Wait, so was it gonna be? Setup. Was it just gonna be an instrumental, like just your beats album?
It was gonna be like, it was gonna be the beats, and then I was gonna do like extra stuff on top instrumentally to make it a little more interesting.
Sure.
But then I don't know. I just felt like something was holding me back from doing that and being like, yo, like you guys should just rap on it. Like
you were right, because it feels so natural that like everyone's bars on the whole album feel like they were naturally supposed to be there. Like it feels like, it's crazy to me when you say that you had it all made in 2020 and then everyone rapped on it later, because it feels very much like you guys all were in the studio creating a whole piece together. It feels very much like that. So I'm glad you guys went with that decision.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like through like getting people to do verses and everything, Sage and I were both like, dude, this is crazy. Like how well it's coming together. Like there's nothing pulling against this from being made. Like we send a beat to this person and they send back a song right away, and then that's how it just happened, and the first beat I was gonna have a friend of mine rap on that, but he was having a little bit of difficulty with the scratches because he wanted to jump off the scratches and everything, and then he just didn't do it. And then Sage was just like, let me see what I could do. And he made Problems Got Problems.
Yeah. Oh, so Sage wasn't even going to originally be on that?
No, like he wasn't originally on that beat. Like we were just trying to figure out what to do with it. And he was just like, let me try it out. I'm like, all right. Cause he just had the one with Buck, and then he did the chorus on Get Those Birds or whatever.
That's so dope, by the way, that Buck 65's on your album, because we've been longtime Buck 65 fans and have not heard anything from him in a long time. I know he's kind of doing his own thing now, but yeah,
that's not true awesome. Though. He came out with that album with whoever called Billy. That Billy album is pretty new. Oh, I think it just came out like within the last 6 months.
I haven't even heard that one.
It's him and some producer or something, DJ guy.
Yeah, my wife is a big fan of Buck 65, and the only reason I make note of that is it's very difficult. I feel it's hard to figure out what my wife likes.
You know what I like? I like the way he can get into your head and tell a really good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He tells a good story.
A lot of times they're really dark, and I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I loved the Bike for Three stuff. Like the first one was like one of my favorites. The Situation was really great too.
Okay, so that album is with Controller 7, and they go under the monikers Tommy and Richie, and the album is Billy, and it came out in 2020.
2020? Oh, shit. Well, thanks. Now
there you go.
Well, thanks for killing my thought that he was showed up on Glow Kid after a long time.
Oh, no, he did. I mean, but that he's under a different name.
I know.
If you just search it, he doesn't even come up.
I'm teasing. All right. Well, so before I get started on the timer, the Glow Kid album is, I feel like with this album and, kind of officially being like Strange Famous. I know the ALXNDRBRWN project came out on Strange Famous, but this one feels very much like.
This feels like the real one.
yeah. Like that. Like the ALXNDRBRWN project was kind of like the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And Glow Kid's like the premiere.
That's exactly what it was. Like I forced myself to make that album. I was getting back into making beats, and I had to force myself to like do it because I was so out of it. Like I wasn't inspired at all musically. Like I was learning how to draw and stuff, and I was doing that.
Oh, are you still drawing?
I haven't drawn in months.
You should join one of our drink and draws.
Yeah, you should. Because they're pretty fun, actually. I know you don't. I know you're not drinking, right?
No, yeah.
You don't need to drink.
Well, no, I know, but
yeah,
a lot of people are on there. They don't drink; they just draw, and we just hang out for 3 hours and draw. They're actually pretty fun. So we just had a conversation starting up. Tell my wife how you pronounce tinnitus.
Tinnitus.
Yeah, she refuses to believe it.
No, I know. Like
I didn't refuse to believe it.
I always called it tinnitus, and then like I went to when I was officially getting like checked out at the doctor and everything, and I said tinnitus in front of him. He was like, "It's tinnitus." I'm like, oh.
So I was ordering drinks in Dallas once. I said, I'll take 2 of those LaCroix.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, La Croix. And I was like, okay, shit, I'm sorry. La Croix. And so then I spent like 3 months like, La Croix, guys. It's a La Croix. And then our friend goes, look on the website. It says LaCroix. Sounds like enjoy or something.
Yeah. So whoever that lady was, she's full of shit.
So you never know. Your doctor better be smart.
Yeah, your doctor better be smart, because if I'm going to go around now saying tinnitus, feeling all cool because someone's going to go, don't you mean tinnitus?
Tinnitus.
No, fuck you,
rhymes
pal.
with laryngitis.
Yeah. Because I'm going to go around now bragging like I know. I did it even in the intro. I did it to my wife. I said tinnitus, just waiting for her to go, oh, tinnitus.
Maybe it is tinnitus. Who knows?
It's not. After I looked it up, I Googled it because I wanted to know. I Googled how do you pronounce it, and it even said it. Phonetically spelled it out. TINNUH. Tinnitus.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're right, and your doctor's right, but. If Google fucks me and your doctor fucked me, I'm pissed. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to be deeply embarrassed for it because I've been calling it that for so long now.
Because it sounds weird. It sounds bizarre because I've always heard tinnitus. Yeah.
Are you struggling with that timer?
No, I'm just setting it. I didn't want it to start going. Okay, here's the timer. I'm setting it. But
oh man.
Time's up.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. 45 minutes to do a drawing for you, and you asked me to do a blue crab because you are in Balmer.
Balmer, huh?
You also last minute. Well, we'll get into the other thing that I'm going to put in on the drawing, but I want to start out with some Sophie's Choice questions with you. The first one is going to be danger mouse or dead mouse.
Ooh. Danger mouse.
Yeah.
Of course.
I wanted to say danger mouse or danger doom, but I mean, I don't even know how you could go danger mouse over danger doom at all.
Danger Doom was my first Doom record I ever bought.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, that thing, that's like nothing even comes close to that album. I don't know why. It's like two brilliant minds.
It's so good. I'm such a like heavy Adult Swim fan too.
Oh, did they do something on that?
Yeah, it was like that was like the theme of Danger Doom with like Danger Mouse and MF Doom getting together. They based a lot of the songs off of shows on Adult Swim, like Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, I heard you say you love that show. I never watched it.
Oh man, it's so funny. It's so silly and like I don't know. I just love like super silly shit like that.
What about this one? Dan Deacon or Dan the Automator?
Dan the Automator.
Do you know who? Yeah, I obviously go with Dan the Automator. But do you know who Dan Deacon is?
Yeah, he's like an electronic music producer.
He's out of Baltimore. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was. I saw him opening for the Flaming Lips a few months ago, and I thought it was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. For your money, who are some of your favorite producers?
Alias. Rest in peace, Alias.
Mm-hmm.
Ant, like, you can't imagine how much fun we're having. That album was one of my favorites for so long. Like the production on it, everything was so good about that. Ant, Alias, Emancipator really inspired me a lot too back in the day. Wait, how many you said?
Oh, whatever. Just whatever. Whoever you, just the top ones that you think would be the
top 5.
Yeah, sure. Top 5. That's 3.
MF Doom.
Oh yeah.
Pete Rock.
Oh yeah. I always forget about Pete Rock. I mean, not forget about him, but
I just saw he bought a MPC Live too recently. So, and he's been pumping stuff out, like just on the down low, like just been putting stuff out. But I did see he just bought a new MPC, so I'm excited to see if he's gonna be jumping back heavy.
Awesome.
What's an MPC?
It's a music production center thing. I'll show you one real quick. Sage gave me my first MPC.
Oh shit.
This is
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say buttons and knob thing.
Speaking of a buttons and knob thing, here's one that I'm really gonna make you work for. Okay. CAS 1 or Op 1?
I don't know who Op 1 is, so I'm saying
no.
CAS.
Your Op 1.
Oh, the OP one.
I call the Op 1.
Oh wait, let me see that again.
The OP 1.
Let me see that again.
Yeah, so
cool.
I was calling it Op 1 forever because I don't know, like the OP 1. So what's the deal with the OP 1? Because I wanted to get one for my son. Obviously, my wife, like, it's a little expensive. We ended up getting him this the Chord Volca keys. I know they're totally different units, but what's the deal with that OP 1 thing?
So this is like a synthesizer, a drum machine, and a sampler all in one. You can design so many different crazy sounds inside of it. It has a radio built into it, so you can sample from the radio.
Oh wow.
It's so different. Like the interface to it, it's like a tape machine. So like you only get 4 tracks to record stuff onto, but you can stack however many times you want on each track. So it's set up like a tape machine. So you have to like cut and lift parts of the tape and paste it over to, extend different regions and this and that. So it can be a bit time consuming when you're structuring like full beats on it, but it's so fucking fun. Like if I ever feel like I'm not inspired by anything, I pull the OP1 out and it's just like I think of it as like playing a video game almost. Like I'm just sitting there playing around with it for hours until like, oh, this is cool. And then I get like a basic idea on it, and then I export it out and put it in my computer, and then I start building it and making it into something bigger. Yeah, like this is like a whole, like you can make a full album on this thing. Like it has such a large amount of time on the tape. So like you can make a whole album on there with a bunch of beats, and then you can export the whole thing out if you want. And it has an incredible battery life. Like I haven't charged this thing in like a couple of weeks, and it's still not even like down to the halfway marker on the battery.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But it's built really well. Like it's very heavy and made from, you can just feel it's made from good parts and everything.
Yeah, because that thing that our son had, it feels very, I mean, it works. He's awesome.
He picked it.
I know.
Research.
I know it's a good unit and everything, but it kind of feels plasticky or something. I don't know.
A little lighter, yeah. I'll have them more. Like I had bought a synth a couple months ago, and that was pretty expensive, but it still felt like a toy. Like it was so light and like, but it made great sounds and all. And
it doesn't matter what it feels like as long as you can make something great with it. Also, never really matters all that. I mean, tools definitely help, but it's all about the who's creating on that tool that makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, your perception on what's going on and all. Like, I don't know. I always think of making music as like a fun thing, so it doesn't really trip me out or anything.
Did you play instruments before you started making it on the computer, making music on the computer?
Yeah, my dad got me a guitar when I was a kid, I think like 5th grade. And then I started doing guitar lessons early, and I didn't finish doing them. Like I started and went through just enough so that I could learn the basics of how to play. Then I just stopped, and then I would listen to songs on the radio, and then I would figure it out.
Gotcha.
And just, just playing some of my favorite songs. And I never made music until after I graduated from college. I would always just play like other bands' songs and all my guitar for fun. And then I figured out that like I don't want to play in a band or anything like that. I tried before. I was like, nah, this ain't for me. Like I don't like doing this, and realized that audio engineering was like a career that you could do in music. And I'm like, I want to do that. So I went to school for it, and I went after it hard. And that's how I started making beats, just learning how to mix. I needed something to learn how to mix on. So I just did that. And eventually I got pretty good at it. It was like, kind of like doing this too. Like maybe I could do this too.
Was it always based from an affinity for music?
Yeah, like music was always such a great escape for me, because I grew up in a pretty hectic environment. I grew up in South Baltimore City, and the neighborhood in the 90s was weird.
Right.
It was weird, very, very drug heavy, very, different parts of the neighborhood could be violent. Definitely would have to always look over my shoulder whenever I would go out. And then in house too, like it was always wild. My dad was a wild person. Like he was heavily involved with drugs and alcohol and everything. And sometimes it would just, it would not be a fun place to be in. So then
and then you couldn't go run outside.
Yeah,
I mean, you could, but it's probably 6s at that point.
If outdoors is not I feel like a safe space either, like you're kind of confined in a box of chaos.
Yeah. So I would escape with music and video games.
That's awesome. It's awesome that you had something to escape to. What do you feel like you have like a little bit of like PTSD from growing up in an environment like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize what it was until like a couple of years ago when I was going to a psychiatrist and therapy and all, and dissecting everything. They were just like, the one lady was just like, honey, did anyone ever tell you that you have PTSD? I'm like, what? I was like, I thought like war veterans get that or whatever. And she's like, no, you can get it too, and you have it. And
you were basically in a war.
Yeah, that's right. You grew up in a war.
Yeah, so she put me onto that. I'm like, oh man. So
I'm a big fan of people getting treatment or
mental health.
Yeah, some help. Like seeing psychiatrists or seeing someone to help you through it. I'm happy to hear that that's something that you do and that you were able to find someone to help you through that, because humans we weren't given the tools to exist in this lifetime that we're living right now. All of this that's happening, we don't necessarily have the tools to navigate that. So yeah, good for you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a long journey figuring everything out. It's like, why do I do this? Why do I do this? Oh, because of this, because of that. Like,
it's weird when you start figuring all that out.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable, like unboxing all that stuff, like, digging things up, and you got to go through that pain again to fix it
and face it. Yeah.
It's easy to run from it.
It's work. Yeah, I run from it.
You can run into my arms, babe.
Where?
Hi.
How about Dr. Octagon or Dr. Dre?
Damn. I'm gonna say Dre because I've been in the studio with him before.
Oh, yeah.
Is
They say, for me, the Chronic album is like probably one of the best albums that ever came out. But is he as genius in the studio as people say? Because I don't know anything about him, but I hear it a lot.
I believe so. I mean, just I only had the opportunity to see him work and meet all these people through my friend John. He was signed to Aftermath for a little bit, and I got to sit there and watch all these dudes work. So I would say he's very, very nice dude. Like, he was always really polite and always down to talk and make jokes and whatever.
That's good to hear, though, because sometimes there are people that go the opposite way of that.
Yeah, I worked in one of those studios before.
Oh shit! What about Mad Child or Darkchild?
Oh, Darkchild.
Yeah, you interned for Darkchild, right? Mm-hmm. How long was that? And was that through your school, or how did that come about?
No, my school didn't help me out with anything.
Oh,
The high school or the college?
No, the college. Yeah. They didn't help me with anything after I graduated, but they did teach me what I know. So I guess when I moved to LA, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do and where I wanted to work. And my buddy in Atlanta had called me and was like, yo, Darkchild's here, and he was saying how he needed help in LA and whatever. Like, I'm gonna get his email for you so you can send him your resume and whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So he sent me his email, or not his email, the management's email, and I sent my resume in, and they called me in for an interview, and I did the interview, and that's how I started doing the internship. So I did that for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, not like interning the whole time, but working there for that long.
Well, real quick, do you know who Darkchild is, Adrienne? Who are some, like, he's like Tony Brown? I mean, he's produced.
He's a producer.
One easy
Grammy Award winner, many Grammys.
One easy one is The Boy Is Mine from Brandy and Monica. Like, he did that. He did Telephone from Lady Gaga.
Yeah, he's no slouch.
Stay With Me from Sam Smith. The Justin Bieber song is As Long As You Love Me. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I'm not
yeah. I don't retain titles and artist names normally.
Except you do know who that guy Justin Bieber
who
is.
Did you say, Sam? Wait, what did you say?
Sam Smith.
Yeah, Sam Smith. I feel like I know that one.
Yeah.
You don't know Justin Bieber?
We can just keep going.
You don't know Lady Gaga?
Off and I won't know them.
You do.
I'm like the telephone game. Telephone. I can't think of anything with.
Song with Beyonce.
Sing it. You sing Beyonce's part, and I'll sing Lady Gaga's part.
I wish
I didn't listen to your other album, the pre-album. What did you call it? The one that came out before this one. So I really liked the kind of lo-fi chill vibes on this, your Glow Kid album. And I don't think I've noticed too many of the lo-fi chill songs with original music or original lyrics with it. I'll hear it with like a remake of an old song or something. Is that how your old album kind of was also?
Kind of. It was a mix between like the old album was a mix between like samples and live instruments and, you know, computer synthesizers and stuff like that. So that one was a mixture. I mean, both of them are mixtures of that type of technique. But
yeah, I guess I just never heard it in that way, because I often in the house when I'm doing whatever, I'll just tell the robot speaker to put on some like lo-fi chill vibe music. And so I listen to it frequently. So yeah, when I first listened to Glow Kid, I was like, ooh, yes, like I like this. And then it was cool to have the new, like, I guess it is a type of hip hop, but I just don't I don't usually see the two going together.
Yeah, mesh
them. You know? Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, I love that type of stuff. Like when I first discovered that was a thing, like the lo-fi hip hop type stuff, I'm like, this is what I've been searching for like a couple of years. Yeah. Like I want to go to a place on YouTube where there's just like this style of beats and I could just listen to it all the time without any.
Those are. I feel bad because I mean, because I turn those on quite a bit with the animation, like the girl sitting in the window and like right, like I go to those a lot. I don't know anything about anyone that's making the music. I don't know.
Either.
I know.
I mean, like I recognize a few names sometimes, but like the names aren't heavily pushed on any of that. I mean, you'll see the corner if you're really looking for it, you'll see it.
Well, but sometimes it says live. Like I was just under the impression they were just making it. Like,
oh yeah.
They're a cool place to I turn those on quite a bit.
Every morning I put it on when I wake up. I wake up at like 6 a.m. every day, and I just will put that on and then just lay in bed and just like zone out for an hour before I get ready for work and stuff like that.
I love it. But so it was good to hear it with, I mean, it is lo-fi hip hop. I don't know why I was saying it's not, but I just haven't heard it with like,
with an MC.
Rappers, like indie artists and stuff on top of it.
I've always wanted to hear that stuff with rappers on it.
Yeah. You got it.
Do you mind? I have to take a quick break real quick. I have to pee. Yeah, I had to pee earlier and I needed to do it and I just forgot. Do you mind? Just give me 2 minutes. Hit that pause, Adrienne, unless you guys are going to chat. Yeah, just hit that pause real quick.
Well, we can just keep it going.
Okay.
Or you can cut it, whatever. That's funny. We were talking to Blacklick yesterday, and at the end, I was like, I am going to pee my pants. I am going to pee. Like, the conversation just kept going. I could feel we were at the end, but I was like, if you see the video, I'm like shaking in my chair. I'm like, sorry, guys. I got to pee. So I'm kind of shocked that he didn't go first.
Man, I can't wait to see that episode.
Yeah, he's cool. Oh, yeah, he was on your album.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, you got a lot of good names on there. And have you just recently signed with Strange Famous? Or have you been with...
I kind of like... I guess there's no real signage going on. It's just like a mutual thing. Like, nah, like I want to stick with you guys and let you guys put out my music.
Oh, that's great.
I've been like a huge fan of Strange Famous Records for so long, like since I was in high school. Like, I mean, early on, Sage was, on Anticon with the personal journals, and then went to Epitaph. I was always a big Sage Francis fan since high school. So I've always followed it, and when I would make my beats, I would like be inspired by his music or like the producers that we were talking about. And then eventually, like, he was doing like remix contests. You good? There was remix contests, and I would download like the acapellas and then practice making beats over the acapellas, and then I would send it to him and be like, what do you think of this? And he's like, it's cool, man. Keep doing it. Keep learning. Keep learning. He, you know, he would like egg me on throughout the years of like to keep learning and all. So that, you know, that would always
That helps.
Yeah.
That helps when you have somebody of his stature to be kind enough to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then we did Grace together, which was originally I sent him another beat, and I sent him another beat because a friend of mine tweeted the beat to him because I had it on SoundCloud, and so he just DM'd me. I was like, yo, I like this. Like, can you take it down? I want to use this. I'm like, yeah, of course. I sent him that beat, and you know, and then I kept making other beats, and then I sent him the Grace beat one night, and then after I sent it to him, I kind of like regretted sending it to him because I didn't like it at first.
Oh.
I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? But then he sent the song back to that beat. So I'm like, holy shit, like he kind of changed my perception on the beat by rapping on it. Like completely changed how I thought about the beat.
Do you like that song now?
Yeah.
I love it.
Patience is a virtue, virtue is a grace. Grace is a little girl who wouldn't wash her face. Grace is a virtue, virtue is a mean between two extremes, one of excess, one of deficiencies. Patience is a virtue, virtue is a dirty stain. Cleanliness is next to godliness and isn't worth the pain. Grace is a virtue, the virtue of the pageant, and this is not a love ballad. You suggested lithium to get me better again. That is unless if we get together again, but that ain't gonna happen never again. Send my well wishes to your nutritionist, your dietitian, your pharmacist, your personal trainer, and your accomplices, your partners in fraud and crime, your criminal group thinking DOC line. There's a difference between what is and is.
I can't think of which one it is.
Grace is the
Sing it for me.
Yeah, I was going to try, but I can't. I can't do Sage's raps.
I'm like, I know. See
Little girl who
that?
wouldn't wash her face.
In the Sage Francis DOD45 episode, I played the. Actually, I didn't. Yeah. No,
Oh,
I actually
the
played it in
one-
Cass 1's episode because when Cass was talking about Sage,
The one where you played part of the video. He's at the dinner table.
he's at the dinner table and his mom,
Oh, okay, so you did the music on that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that
my
song's
friend-
awesome.
My friend Athena did the piano on that.
Oh,
So
cool.
she did the piano, and then I forget what BPM it was, but it was faster, and then I slowed it down and did some other things to it, and made the Grace beat, which is crazy because she sent me that piano like years before I made the beat.
Oh, really?
Like 2011 she sent me that piano, and I never used it, and then I randomly stumbled on it that night I made the beat on my hard drive, and I was like, why didn't I ever use this?
I can imagine that's pretty amazing to come across like old, like something's old that someone had made, or you have a tape of it. It's always nice to have a fresh ear to hear something because what you're into changes quite a bit.
No, yeah, I agree. It's like finding $100 bill in the dryer.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I make a point of stashing one of those everywhere so that I do just kind of come across them. It's not like I have $100 bills everywhere,
Good to
but
know.
yeah, I do it quite a bit.
I'll just go
Actually.
start looking around.
Hide money from yourself.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like, yes.
Because it always turns up exactly when you needed it. Going back to you interning for Darkchild, is there anything specific that you got from that experience interning there? Was there a take home from that?
I learned what the business is, like music business, like that side of it. I learned what that is and figured out that I didn't want to be a part of that. But I also learned a lot about mixing, like a fuck ton about mixing through that experience. Like the engineer there was so awesome and so good at what he did, and he was so open to teaching me how he was doing things. It took him a minute to warm up to me, to teach me, because I guess I had to like prove, you know, like prove that I wanted to be there, I guess.
Yeah.
So when everyone started warming up to me, he was super open to teaching me how to do what he was doing. So I learned a lot about mixing there. I also learned a lot about music production. Like before I went in there, I was just making hip hop beats, but Rodney opened up my mind to different styles of producing. And, you know, I would practice doing R&B stuff, and I would, you know, doing electronic music stuff, and, you know, like trap style beats. I was trying out all these different genres, and I was having fun doing it, you know, because he convinced me to like open up to it and not shut it out and be like, no, it's not hip hop, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's all fun. Like it's all fun to do. It's just like, would I prefer to listen to that type of stuff? No, but I do understand it, and I do respect it, because it is hard work, and, you know,
There's still a ton of technique. I mean, it's a technique based.
yeah.
Do you feel like you got more out of that than you did from school?
Yeah.
Because a little real life experience seems to go a lot further than.
But you got the components aspect at school, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And then the other side was the creativity.
Yeah, like I learned the recipes in school, and then I learned how to cook when I went out there. And
Yeah, look at you using metaphors. What are you, some kind of rapper?
Do you rap?
I cannot rap. I've tried it before, and I'm not good at it. Like my voice is terrible. And I don't know. I'm not good at writing like that. You know, it just felt weird, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
So,
Like,
but you tried.
I tried it just to try it, just to like try and understand where people's minds are when they're doing it, and like how, you know, like, and learn is really hard to do.
Will you be touring Glow Kid?
I would love to, but I don't think I will. You know, maybe if someone, you know, if someone from Strange Famous goes on tour and they need like a DJ or something, then I'll go and DJ for them, and then maybe open up with it.
I guess it would be hard to tour Glow Kid because you got so many.
All those guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know like how I would do it anyway live.
Really?
I mean, I guess like if it was up to me, like everybody would just come with me. And,
yeah, that's what I mean. Why don't you guys put together a little?
You go out there for 3 minutes and then you're done for the night.
That's a cool idea.
I want it to happen because I want you guys to come to either one of the places that, like, either my Missouri place or the Salt Lake City place, because I want to see it live. I want to see the whole thing happen live.
It would have to be like Strange Famous Fest.
That's what I mean. Like some sort of Strange Famous. Everyone gets together, does a nice little simple tour, not like 360 dates.
But they would have to do a bunch of their own songs too.
Yeah, why not?
And then
they just did like a 1-day festival or something, like in Providence. Like,
yeah, no, I don't like that because I'm not coming out to Providence.
Right. Sometimes we're
never near Providence.
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's pretty close.
Okay, listen, here's the deal. Listen, I'll email Sage. You tell Sage, let's do it when we're gonna be near Pittsburgh.
I'm planning around your trip.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure that he's maybe changed a bit, because when we first had Sage on the show, that was like right in the middle of the pandemic. He sounded like he was done.
But then I think
now.
he must have happened to rap on your song for this album shortly after we talked to him for this, because I don't think he had worked on anything.
He wasn't at the time. No, your phone's going out.
He started getting really inspired when we were doing all this, and I was like,
I feel like I sensed that because he even from his posts and stuff, just thinks he was kind of bringing. No, it seemed like a little bit of fire got put back into him.
Yeah.
And he's been in the business for a long time, so you would imagine maybe you sort of, what happens is you start kind of losing. You kind of start going like, I'm fucking over it.
Like I want to just like chill out for a little bit.
Well, like any creative thing, you kind of like, you go and then you plateau for a second and then you kind of come down and then I think it's just the rhythm of creativity.
Also, having children makes a big difference too. There's a whole thing there where you start going like, I'm just going to focus everything on the.
Yeah, that's a whole world that I don't even understand yet. I haven't had kids yet, so like
it's a different kind of an inspiration.
Yeah.
Do you have a fear of the high of this moment of Glow Kid going away?
No.
Okay.
It's kind of gone already. I mean,
really?
I'm still stoked on it. Like I'll still listen to it and be like, man, we did a good job.
It. Yeah.
But a lot of new people, people are still just discovering it.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like I guess where my mind is at right now is just like, what am I going to do next?
Yeah.
What's next?
How do I want to do another one? I know I'm going to be producing for a couple of people on Strange Famous for some future projects, but like I do want to do a third album, but like I'm just kind of like figuring things out in my head of like how do I want to do it? How do I want it to sound? Where I want to go with it, because I don't know. Glow Kid was supposed to be like a happy sounding album. Like I was going to make like a happy project after the Alex Brown project because I was so depressed when I made that project. And then I came out of it and was like, I want to make a happy sounding album. And then like COVID hit and then I was like, son of a fucking bitch.
There's no happiness here.
I just got real mad after that and it's like, and then that's how I made Glow Kid. It was just like a fluctuation of emotions. And then, towards the end of the album, it's like kind of like this, like feels like with a boy nostalgic for the future, that beat, it's kind of like I don't know. I guess it's just like, fuck it. Like, who cares? Like, I'm just going to be happy because I'm still alive.
Yeah, that song, it's almost like an entryway or an exit door. It's an exit from Glow Kid and maybe an entry into maybe the door, maybe it's brighter, or maybe Glow Kid is in, just like you said, like the album is you, Glow Kid is you in the basement or, wherever, in the studio, it's dark and you're in the phones and the glow of the screens. Yeah. But eventually you got to go outside and and get tan so people can call you. There's no reason you should be keep calling yourself brown if you're not tan.
Opening the door to go outside again.
To go get tan and reclaim fucking brown. Reclaim your brown.
And then Steve Spike's song comes on, last one, and then just slaps you in the face.
Hey, what about Dale or Boomhauer?
Oh, Boomhauer.
What about Young MC or Young Thug?
Young Thug.
Okay. What about Young Thug or Young Guns?
Oh, Young Guns.
Is that why you have Billy the Kid up there?
Yeah. I wanted to lead into the Young Guns because it's probably one of the best moves he's ever made, and I've seen it probably 100 times or more.
Yeah, I still watch it. I watched both of them the other day.
Is that why Billy the Kid though? Is because of Young Guns?
When I was a little kid, I learned about Billy the Kid through the Young Guns movie, and I was just so fascinated with the Wild West and that era and time. I mean, it was really terrible time, and really, really messed up situations going on then. But like, I don't know, I was so intrigued by it and the whole Billy's whole story with, John Tunstall, like getting picked up and working for him, becoming a regulator, and then situation happened with Murphy. John gets shot and killed.
Yeah.
And all this take revenge on it and take it too far.
So Brown and I were messaging back and forth about young. Oh, because you had mentioned, can you try to get the kid in there? I wasn't gonna do it, but then last minute, just today, I was like, oh, I'll do like a little Billy the Kid thing. But we had talked about how like I seriously watched the movie a trillion times. And I can actually, I wanted to tell, so I wrote down a couple of things because you said you watched it all the time and you just watched it.
No.
Here's some, I want to do this because these are lines that are either consistently going on in my head all the time or that I randomly say throughout a year. So, and please hold your applause until the end.
You.
No, that's the one I was going to say. That's the one everyone does. Mine are, you can tell I'm a real fan. So, my favorite one, I only say one part of it. I say July, but he actually says, I should receive my degree from St. Michael's in July. Hey, dog, did you see the size of that chicken? She's my flower. You got to be handy with the steel, you know what I mean? Earn your keep. That's one of my favorites.
I know that one because that one was on the album.
I ain't got no business in that war no more. Peckerhead sons of bitches. I do this one all the time. Yen son. I don't know why. But when I'm yelling out to my son, sometimes I'll do that.
You should just read the whole script.
I know. Did you know pigs is as smart as dogs? What'd you gonna kill him for? Hey, Chavez, how come they ain't killing us? 'Cause we're in the spirit world, asshole. They can't see us.
Weren't they on drugs or something?
Yeah, they were on peyote. My final one. And it means nothing to me.
Wow.
I can do that with Crimson Tide, A Few Good Men, Meet Joe Black, and Mallrats. So
I can do that with that and Dumb and Dumber.
I laughed so hard when Dumb and Dumber came out.
Got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Hey, you know the funniest scene? I won't go into a whole movie rambling thing, but the funniest scene in that Dumb and Dumber is when they ride that motorcycle or that scooter all the way through to Denver, and then he's stuck because he pees. Yeah, and he's stuck on the back of his back.
Just go, man.
Just go, man.
So gross.
I know it is gross. So yeah, since we were talking about or since I just went off on Young Guns, Warren G or G Unit.
Man, Warren G.
Yeah,
he was on that album, right?
Warren G produced that song, that Regulate song. I fucked with that song so hard.
I played that tape all summer when I was in 5th grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. I don't remember. Something like that.
I just hated that he used that line, Regulators Mount Up, on there because it sounded dumb in the song. And
I liked it.
That was like the most cliche part of the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
But I loved the song. I fucked with that hard. Like it had that really like low rider. Like I wanted to lean back in my car when I'm driving and play that jam.
I guess I like the one line in there where he's like, "You got to be handy with the steel."
Yeah.
I like, but the Regulate part, I was like, ah.
Sounded cheesy, right? Because it wasn't even from the movie. It was like I don't know who
from the movie.
No. But on the recording, it wasn't. They didn't use the movie version. It was like someone else yelled it. Regulators, mount up.
Regulators, mount up.
It sounded real dumb.
Right.
It sounded real cheesy.
It's a clear dark.
See, you're a rapper, man. Let it out. Hey, do you have Brown? Do you have a favorite joke?
No.
No.
If you could be any animal, what would you be?
A bald eagle.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're protected and you can fly.
I can fly. Yeah. I always have dreams where I can fly. Like at some point in my dreams, I always figure out that I'm dreaming. And then I figure out that I'm dreaming and I'm like, all right, I can do whatever I want. And then like at some point in my dream, like something might happen where I don't like what's going on and I'll just jump and take off and start flying. And then I'm just like flying around space and shit.
That's cool. I love that when you gain a certain consciousness in your dream enough to like change it.
Yeah, it's super fun, and it happens like almost every night. I mean, some nights I can't, you know, I don't know that I'm dreaming or whatever. Like I'll have nightmares or whatever, and you know, that's its own thing. But most of the time when I'm dreaming and it's like a semi-cool dream, I'll figure out that I'm dreaming. Like something will happen where like something's not right. Like I try and turn on a light or something and the light doesn't turn on, or you know, I'm trying to run and I can't run. I'm feeling something pulling me back. I'm like, all right, I'm dreaming. Like, boop, and then
then you just fly.
Well, you
fly away.
You would have been an attribute on Elm Street. You would have been one of the ones that could help everyone out. Go like, hey, we're in the dream.
Freddy Krueger wouldn't have got me.
Yeah, that's right. Eventually he does, though.
My nightmares and
what's that?
I'll get in one of my nightmares where I'm slipping.
Does he really? Oh,
just
not in real life. Okay, sorry.
Is there a battle that you'll always lose? Like, for example, like one of mine is a bowl of cereal at night. Like, I can't, like, it's not just one. I gotta have two, and like that's a battle I will always lose. Is there some sort of battle that you will always lose?
Well, that's one of them. we share the same battle. I'll get up in the middle of the night and eat so much food, or like eating bowls of cereal or whatever, and I'll wake up in the morning with wrappers around me and I'm like, what the fuck did I just do?
How did that happen? Do you want to hear my trick for that?
Yes.
Right after dinner, brush and floss your teeth.
Oh yeah.
Because then you just, for me, I'm too lazy to like go do it again.
True.
It's helpful if your bathroom is upstairs.
Far away.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's always been her trick.
What's another one? I guess like dissecting everything. Like I'm always dissecting conversations or interactions with people, or like, if it's like a short interaction, then I'll be like, what happened? Like, like I'm like, did I do something wrong? Or like,
do you replay it in your mind and try to remember exactly how you possibly...
And I always say sorry too. Like I'm always saying sorry, like after everything. And that's connected through my childhood or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the sorry thing is probably the number one thing that I always do, and I'm not conscious of that I'm doing it sometimes. Like if I'll say something, I'll be like, hey, sorry, but blah blah blah, like,
I don't mean to play psychiatrix, but did you feel like growing up? Was there a lot of situations where you felt like, oh, I fucked up, or like you felt like you would get in trouble for something that probably you shouldn't have been in trouble for, so you're like constantly feeling like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah. That, and then if my dad was like high or something, and I'm being too loud or something, and he's like, shut the fuck up, man. Right. And I'm like, oh, sorry, like, or
That's where that comes from, though. That whole feeling apologetic for everything that you're doing when you're just a kid. Like kids are loud and they do things that are.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I feel, not to like make it on me, but I have the same thing after like the podcast, or after we hang out with a friend, or I see anybody, I'll sit there and I'll go back and rewind, and then I'll feel guilty. Like, I know I said something stupid. I regret having ever spoken.
Yeah.
And it just like haunts me.
She does
for
that
a long time.
lot.
And I wake up, lately I've been waking up in the middle of the night just like eyes wide open, going like, what did I say?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're going through, because it happens to me too. That shit sucks.
One thing you should remember, though, is that no one else dwelled on it. No one else caught it. No one else heard what you said. Even if you probably didn't even say anything, but no one else is dwelling on that because one thing, remember, everyone else went on and did their life, and everyone else went on and they have all their other shit they're thinking about. So no one sat around thinking like, oh, can you believe they said that? Or something like, I don't know. I think that's a good trick. I've one time heard someone say, don't be sorry is a board game, and that's always stuck in my head. Like, don't be sorry is a board game. It's a dumb little saying, but it always helped. Like, there's no reason to be sorry.
In my brain now.
Yeah, just use it anytime you want to feel like, oh, sorry, sorry, it's a board game.
Now I know what to get you for Christmas.
Another good thing to do is like to keep facts on you. Like if if you're feeling that way, then you fact check yourself on the situation, and I got more facts than what I'm thinking about in my head. So, this is going to outweigh that.
Yeah. Well, let me hit you with, because I think we're about 10 minutes. I'm obviously going to get this thing way more detail after because it's kind of a bigger piece. But before we, we're pretty close, but I'll keep wrapping it up going with you for a minute so I can go through a couple of things. But I want to hit you with some geographical things to your area because you're in Baltimore, right? What were the origins of you? How did you end up there?
I've always been in Baltimore. My dad grew up there. My mom grew up right outside of the city in this place called Lansdowne. I'm pretty sure like maybe my grandfather's and my grandmother's parents on my dad's side came to this country, or maybe, I don't know. I know that they came from Austria and Poland. My grandmother's side was a bunch of like Austrian gypsies, and my grandfather's side in Poland.
But that's where you were born and raised.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Baltimore. So was my dad and my grandfather.
Generations deep.
Well, then you could have the answer to why does Natty Bo only have one eye?
I don't know.
They claim that Gunther's got it, and Gunther is a
Gunther.
Okay, Gunther.
I don't know. Is there such thing as a Gunther?
Well, it could be Gunther.
Sorry.
I don't know. It was another company that was out there. I don't know. I saw someone mention that on like a Reddit feed or something. But the dude, Natty Bo, right? That's what you guys call him, or am I saying it wrong? Or is it Op 1?
No, yeah, that's what they say, Natty Bo.
But he's only got one eye. Like his character's got his mustache, but he's only got one eye. Huh?
I guess it's a side profile.
Yeah, that's what I always thought, but apparently there's a thing about it. Orioles or Ravens?
Ooh, Orioles.
Did you know that Natty Bo, that company is the first company to come out with a six-pack ever?
Really?
Yeah, in the 1940s.
It's crazy.
4 wasn't enough and 8 was too many. Old Bay or J.O. Spice?
Ooh, that depends on my mood. J.O. is definitely heavier flavors. Old Bay, like if I'm like making some ramen or something, I'll just put a little Old Bay in it. Yeah.
Does everybody in Baltimore have an Old Bay? Have like just plenty of stock of Old Bay?
Oh yeah. That doesn't ever disappear.
Pizza squares or triangles?
Triangles.
What about Utz or Lay's?
Utz.
You pick Utz over that.
Shake it up.
Well, I hear they're less salty than the Lay's.
Oh yeah.
And the salt's not good for the tinnitus, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Hairspray or Crybaby?
Hairspray?
I have a question though. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Never mind. Does the tinnitus, however you guys were saying it, does it give you vertigo? Does it mess with like how you hear music and when you're making music too?
Totally does. it depends on the day. Like I could have a really good day with it and it doesn't faze me at all. Like it, if I'm not at work or I'm just chilling at the house and I'm having a good day with it and I'm making music or mixing, doesn't bother me at all. But if I'm stressed out about something, it'll raise the ringing volume up in my head, and then other things will happen. Like I'll hear pops, or it'll a lot of times it'll stop me in my tracks when I'm talking, because like my focus will shift from conversation to the ringing, and then I'll start thinking about the ringing versus what I'm talking about or what's going on, and then it'll be like that awkward silence where I'm like, shit.
Sorry, what'd you just say?
What were we doing again?
Yeah.
It makes me tired too, like easily fatigued. Like if I'm in a loud environment, like I'm kind of like, and then it'll just make me tired. I'm like, I gotta go.
Well, I imagine the louder the environment, it probably even gets even worse, right?
Yeah, like it'll do weird shit sometimes. Like when I stop talking, sometimes my ears will click. Like I'll hear a pop noise, or like if I bend down, I'll hear like blood rushing to my head, and my heartbeat, or if I'm laying down to sleep. Depending on the day, like if it's really bad, I'm trying to go to sleep, I might hear like birds, like it sounds like birds chirping or something like that. So it definitely gets me sometimes.
And caffeine's not good for it either, right?
Yeah.
Man,
caffeine's the worst for it. Like that's the ultimate thing, and it sucks too, because I was such a big coffee drinker. Like, sure. I mean, I still am. Like, I'll drink decaf.
Sure.
But like, the main reason why I drank coffee was for the caffeine.
Yeah.
Give me energy and whatever. And when I figured out that was like one of the no-nos, I'm like, fuck, man, like it's taking away everything that I love, man.
But it does kind of turn off when you're making music.
I'll forget about it for sure.
Okay.
Like I'm hearing the music play. I might have a fan going in the background too. It's like a little bit of white noise going.
Yeah. Does that help? White noise or any sort of noise other than?
Yeah, like.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is it worse when it's completely silent, or when you're in a loud environment? Which is worse?
Completely silent, probably.
Yeah, because then all you can hear is that ringing.
Yeah, and then like it's all I'm thinking about. It's definitely like affected my memory too over the years. Like it's because I've spent a lot of time by myself and just like in my studio, and sometimes like I'll just be in a daze, and I'm just thinking about it, and then I'm thinking about it for hours and hours and hours, for years and days and whatever.
Yeah.
So like it definitely takes things away from me, from my memory, if I'm not sharp. Like if I'm not reading all the time, or if I'm not like doing something, it could totally just wipe me out.
Yeah, it's probably really hard to log actual moments that are happening too, when a big portion of your mind is focused on the ringing and everything. Ugh.
Yeah.
There's no treatment at all?
There is, but it's just like coping mechanisms. Like there's
not real treatment.
Yeah, there's nothing that can like fix it, or other than
probably diet and stuff.
Eating right, staying away from processed foods, not taking ibuprofen when you get a headache, or like basically not doing anything that's going to affect the way that your blood moves in your body. So exercise helps it a lot too. But like, yeah, doctor, like there's no medicine that can really help it. Like they say that antidepressants help it, and then like things like Valium and Xanax help it. But those are the only things that can really help it, especially if you have it bad. Like I have it pretty bad. So yeah, like I tried antidepressants and, you know, it doesn't, nothing really works.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it a degenerative thing? Like, does it get worse, or can you just keep it where it's at if you're good with your diet and the things?
I think I can keep it where it's at. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's definitely gotten worse over the years, but like I think it's gotten worse because of poor decisions like diet and, you know, like
Wow.
not exercising and all. Because for a minute, I was in 2016 and 17, I was doing really good. Like I was on a great diet. I was going to the gym 5-6 days a week. You know, I was doing everything that I could to make it better, and it was better. Like it was basically like unnoticeable. Like I couldn't even know.
Oh. So if you go back to that, does
I
that?
go back to that, but it's like that's like I kind of lost discipline to it. Like I was on like a strict vegan diet. I wasn't eating like anything related to animals. I was exercising a ton. I was taking all these different types of supplements to like fix where, you know, I was lacking from meat and things like
Oh,
that.
right. But that was just became too strenuous and hard.
Yeah, it was just like a lot of meal prep.
Not living. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I didn't have time. Like I didn't have time to do it. Like it was
Meal
just,
prep's the hardest part about being vegan, because we mostly have a vegan diet. I mean, I
We're
eat
mostly
sushi,
plant-based. Vegan's more of a lifestyle, really, but
Yeah.
we're mostly plant-based. But we have the luxury and the privilege of some money and time, you know? So that isn't something that people frequently have. I have the opportunity that I can make all of the stuff that's, you know, non-dairy, that I have to come up with from scratch and all of this, but I couldn't do that otherwise. You know, if we weren't so lucky and privileged, we couldn't do that.
If it was up to me, I would have just stuck with that diet and stayed that way, because it was so good for my ears. Like it was, you know, and the crazy part about it too, I wasn't even like making beats then. Like I had stopped making beats and messing with music, and I was just focused on diet and exercise and things like that. And my hearing was like at its best then. Like, you know, like the ringing was basically gone. I was happy. I felt good. My body, I was in shape, you know.
But I agree. It's so hard. If our kids didn't have such a dairy allergy, and if it didn't mess with my head as much as it does, I think we would have probably given up a long time ago. I mean, they'll still eat some meat. The Tai and our son, and my daughter and I are vegetarian. But even just being a vegetarian is way easier than trying to get rid of dairy.
Yeah, if you're a vegetarian and then you get rid of dairy, that's why it's just simpler to say vegan, but because we eat eggs and stuff. But yeah, it's a
egg and honey, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, shall I hit you with a couple of rapid fire ones before we close out?
Go for it.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say real quick before I rapid fire him, Adrienne?
You're gonna fire him?
No, before I rapid fire some. I'm gonna stick with these. Are most of these? A lot of these people are from Baltimore. Ed Norton or Ed Sheeran?
He's not from Baltimore.
No, but Ed Norton is.
Oh.
Ed Sheeran?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good writer.
Ron Allen or Edgar Allan Poe?
Edgar Allan.
Do you ever, speaking of Ron Allen and like skateboarding, I know you were big into skateboarding. Do you skate that park in Roosevelt Park?
FDR, in Philly?
No, you guys have a skate park. There's a skate park. I think it's in Hamden. Maybe is that?
Oh, I've never gotten a chance to skate that yet.
Oh,
I've been there, and I've been inside of it, and you know, watching people skate and all, but I never actually got a chance to skate it yet.
Are you skating now, or
I haven't skated in a couple of years?
Is it true that was something like, did you feel like you were pretty damn good at enough that you were going to like pursue to be a...
Yeah. I was really trying. I had a board sponsor when I was a kid, and I thought that was what I wanted to do. I really love skating.
So why'd you stop?
I went to college, and then I wasn't getting boards anymore.
Oh.
Sponsor.
Life got in the way.
It's so expensive now too.
And yeah, life kind of started getting in the way of it, and then I was focused on music and stuff, and I was still skating throughout the years. I think I was still skating when I was in LA, but like
do you feel like you could get on a board and just pick it up just right where you pretty much left off?
I could, but I would get tired easy, and my knees would start hurting quick, and my legs aren't strong like that anymore. Like I used to, skating, you build up like a lot of muscle in your legs, I guess. Mm-hmm. And now I'm so shaky. Like I probably wouldn't even know how to fall. And
that the falling part's the hard. Yeah, because I'll get on mine every once in a while, and I'll go like, oh fuck yeah, I can ollie over that, and I'll I can, but you you crash and it fucking hurts really bad.
Well, just get a longboard, and then you can just go right around the block a couple times. You can get your tan. You can exercise your legs and clear up your tinnitus.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
just get a longboard.
Yeah, I mean, you need to get
you
back.
Fall off of that.
That's right. Yes, you can.
I've been talking with a buddy recently about starting again. Like, I was like, I was telling him, I was like, I want to buy a board again. I want to start skating again. We should go like every Sunday or something.
That'd be cool.
So we've been talking about it, but
we'll make sure you're insured. Are you insured?
I'm not insured. I've been working on that for a while now, and I can't seem to get it. They want to charge me so much.
Yeah, it's hard. We've been, I've been artists my whole life, so we've been paying our own insurance. It's nothing cheap, but if you're gonna get out on skateboards, and as you start getting older, like.
Well, you don't have to go to parks either.
No, but even just still, you could just be riding a skateboard down the street and hit a tiny little crack or a rock.
Yeah, that's true.
I hit my head really hard once when I was a kid, like really hard. At Lansdowne Skate Park, they had like 2 snake runs, and I went down the second one. I was doing my warm-up run. I went down it, and then I went over one big hump, and then I went over the other hump to carve the bowl, and then I hit the top of the second hump and hit a rock. Flew forward and smacked the side of my head on the wall of the bowl, and I was out.
Oh,
that's where your tinnitus.
Yeah, no kidding.
Knocked me out, and when I came to, I couldn't feel my legs, like my legs. And I was trying to stand up. I couldn't stand. I couldn't move my legs. Like they were like just not
scary
at all. And
how old were you? Pretty young?
I was 16 years old.
Oh fuck! Can you? I mean, yeah, that's at 16 and feeling something like that. You're like, what just did I just? Is my life over?
I was paralyzed. I thought I was paralyzed, and then this old cruiser guy came over and was like, "You all right, man?" And I look at him, and he's like, "Oh fuck, bro, you got a gnarly lump on the side of your head."
Oh shit!
And I feel it, and it was like an instant, like,
oh my gosh, what'd you do?
Out of my temple.
What'd you do? Nothing? Ice it?
Well, after a minute, I started feeling my legs again, and then I stood up, and my friends took me home, and then I told my mom, I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. I think I have a concussion. And
shit!
She's like, you'll be all right. Just here's some soup, and go ahead and just sit down and don't fall asleep.
Was it? Did you go home and go, I'm sorry, I crashed? But you had to start with I'm sorry.
Probably. I'm sorry, but I think I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah. I'm sorry to bother you and
sorry to bother you.
Yeah, those are scary. The first really hard, gnarly crashes on a skateboard when you're younger are scary moments.
Yeah. I was good though the next day. I just had a headache. It was just sore for a couple of days, and
Yeah, got yourself a little bit of a concussion there.
I don't like those skate parks.
What about Montel Williams or William H. Macy?
Who's William H. Macy?
Macy.
William H. Macy is the redheaded guy. He's a really fantastic actor. He's in Fargo. He's in Magnolia, the movie Magnolia with Tom Cruise. He plays
How?
And who's the other guy? Like
Montel Williams.
Maury?
Yeah, he's like Maury Povich guy. They're both of them are from Baltimore.
Oh my gosh.
What about Tori Amos or John Stamos?
John Stamos.
Oh shit!
Tori Amos.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we're huge. We're both big Tori Amos fans. She's also from Baltimore.
I was in high school.
Nice.
What about Frank Ocean or Frank Zappa?
Oh, Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
Love Frank Zappa. Dude, crazy thing about Frank Zappa. So Frank Zappa had the band called The Mothers, right? And a person in the band was named Ruth Underwood. She was an electronic keys player, whatever. She had an electric xylophone. She would play that in the band. I was in LA and I had got the tinnitus in my ear, and I was not working in a studio, so I was doing moving. I was working for a moving company, so I was like packing up boxes for a moving company and helping people move from house to house. Mm-hmm. This lady that we were moving, I didn't know who she was until midway through the move. I learned that she was Ruth Underwood from The Mothers.
Oh, awesome.
Frank Zappa, and she had all this music stuff, and I started asking her questions. I'm like, you're a musician? She's like, yeah. Have you heard of Frank Zappa? I'm like, whoa. She filled me in on everything, and we connected so heavy. She was such a nice lady, and towards the end of the move, she gave me like this folder this thick of like all her John Lennon memorabilia throughout years, from when she was a kid or younger to now.
You still have that?
I have it, and it's right over here in the corner.
That's awesome.
Wait, is she still alive, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't spoken to her in a long time.
Have her xylophone up one of your albums.
No shit.
Well, what's crazy about that, like when we moved there, we were taking apart that thing, and she was like, I was like, are you gonna be okay memorizing like how we put it back together? Because it was the first one ever made. And she's like, yeah, I remember. I've taken it apart and put it back together so many times. I'll be okay. I'm like, all right, cool. So we move it and we get it into the room that she wanted it to be in. And she starts freaking out like, I don't remember how to put it back together.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, it's okay. I remember. I was taking mental notes just in case. And I put it back together for her, and I saved the day for her on that.
Yeah, you're memorable. Why don't you get that? I think that's a brilliant idea, Adrienne. Holler her up and be like, hey, you remember that time and remember this? And let's
I make music now.
I make music, and like it would be dope to have you come play. That would be awesome, I think. I don't know. I think everyone you meet and all the experiences you have are all just things that equal up to be bigger and better things.
Yeah, I wish I still had a way to contact her. I don't think I have her phone number in my phone.
There's this dude. This is fucking crazy, and there is this thing called the internet.
I thought you were gonna say Facebook. That's where
she's probably not on Facebook.
That's where all the boomers are. She's got to be at least, if not older than.
She's probably got to be in her 70s, 60s, late 60s or 70s.
Introducing the senior electric xylophonist. What's her name again?
Underwood.
Ms. Underwood.
Maybe you can reach out to Zappa's son and have him play on some shit. Or they all got some wild names. Hey, do you know how to tell if it's a Jimmy or a Sally?
No, what is that?
You flip the crab over, and if it's the Washington Monument, it's a Jimmy, and if it's a Capitol Dome, it's a Sally.
What are you talking
That's
about?
dumb. Lacrosse or hockey?
Hockey.
You played hockey, didn't you?
Yeah, I played hockey when I was younger.
Do you do any skating? Did you do like any street hockey though?
Yeah, I would play street hockey in the summer, and then wintertime would switch over to ice.
Well, let me do this one because I wanted to get it out. Why or explosions in the sky?
Ooh, dang, that's a hard one. I love both of them. Song of the Sad Assassin was one of my favorites. I guess I would have to say Explosions in the Sky, because that band had a super heavy impact on me exploring my own emotions and things. Like, I don't know, for some reason that music had me, like, for the first time really deep diving into past when I was a kid and this and that. Like, I don't know, I feel like it just painted that picture for me easily. It helped me heal certain aspects when I was, I guess, 21 years old.
It's good that at 21 though you could recognize how brilliant that music is, because a lot of people in their 20s would have been like, I don't listen to this shit.
I loved it.
Were you a Sigur Rós fan at all?
Yeah, huge fan. I love that. I love that band.
What about Godspeed or Godspeed? What do they call that? I just call them Godspeed. If you haven't heard them, you should.
Godspeed, Almighty Emperor. Something.
Godspeed the Emperor. Shit. I always just call them Godspeed, but that's someone you should check out, and because they're very similar, and I think a lot of people. I think some of the guys from Explosions play.
Godspeed You Black Emperor.
Oh yeah, Godspeed You Black Emperor.
Oh,
and then Silver Mount Zion or Mount Silver Mount Zion. All of their albums, I think you could probably really fuck with. So I think you should check them out. Yeah, I didn't finish the drawing completely, but I will finish it. I'm glad that I was able to squeeze Billy the Kid in there for you.
It looks sick so far.
But yeah, I'll get that kind of detailed out for you and get it sent over to you. Oh, you know what? I do these 3 things now, so I've been doing random info on the podcast. So here's a random info real quick. In 1977, the president of Digital Equipment Corporation, his name was Ken Olsen. He said, and I quote, "There is no reason anyone would want a computer in their home." He said that in 1977. So, and then I like to wrap up the show with a trivia question. So you get an easy, medium, hard, or feeling brave. Which one?
Let's feel brave.
Okay. So far, everyone has gone with the brave.
I don't think.
Oh wait, no. Just go hard then.
Okay.
I was gonna say I don't think anyone's gotten it.
No one's got the brave ones are working hard. Okay, we'll go hard.
I probably wouldn't even be able to get the easy one.
Croatia and Slovenia were members of which former country? Adrienne knows it.
I think I know.
Croatia and
Slovenia.
I don't know. I'm gonna guess and say I don't know. Don't know.
Final answer? No, it's final answer.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Czechoslovakia.
Oh, it's close because it ended in the ia. What Adrienne might know it.
That's what I was gonna say, Czechoslovakia or Ukraine, but Ukraine's too far north.
You were doing this with your lips. You were
I
going.
was going Ukraine.
Yugoslavia.
Oh, Yugoslavia.
Did I said Ukraine?
Yeah, you said Ukraine.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, maybe I was gonna say.
It looked like you were gonna say Yugoslavia.
I was like picturing all of those countries in my head, and I can't. I was trying to remember. Sorry, doesn't matter.
It was a huge pleasure to have you on the show, man. Thanks for joining us. I forget to do this one always. I end them with a philosophical question. Is happiness just a bunch of chemicals flowing in our brains, or is there something more to it?
I would hope that there's something more to it.
Yeah, awesome. I agree.
You know, I've definitely felt that before, where it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of chemicals. You know, always think that when I'm like depressed or something, but like when I'm happy, I'm like, nah, there's something more to, like, there's something more than that.
Yeah. Well, what's in the future for yourself? What should the audience know about? What should we?
We need to promote the Glow Kid album.
Yeah, just stay connected with Strange Famous and see what happens. Like there's a lot of things that are up in the air right now for producing, like working with a bunch of different people from Strange Famous now, trying to figure out things. There might be a group project. There might be a solo project produced by me.
What's the best? What do you prefer the best? What's the best way for people to know about what's happening with you and what's going to be in the future?
So you could go to the Strange Famous social media websites, or you can go to mine, Alexander Brown, ALXNDRBRWN. That's it for Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Just follow me, follow them, and see what happens. I have Glow Kid out right now. It's a whole big old project that I've had a lot of fun making, and everyone else had a lot of fun joining in. You can hear how much fun we had doing it.
Yeah, I'm super proud to even have a tiny little part in it, because I think the album's fantastic.
Your part is heavy. You painted the imagery before anyone hears it. Like people looked at that first before they heard it. It's a fucking beautiful cover.
Well, thank you. When we close out, because can you explain what the cover was? When you reached out to me, you wanted a specific thing. That's what I tried to capture for you.
Yeah, so I took a picture of my studio. Like, you know, I took a picture of it and was like, hey, do you think you could do something with this? Like, because I wanted it to represent the space that I was in for the album. And you agreed, and you asked me if you could take your own spin on it, and like, hell yeah, do whatever comes to your mind as you're doing it. Like, yeah, I don't know, I knew I wanted to have the space be the cover because this area means so much to me. Like it's pretty much where I spend all my time. If I'm not working, I don't have a lot of friends. I have friends that I went to high school with that are around, but I don't really hang out with a bunch of people anymore. Keep it real low key. I just go to work, come home, make music, and then talk with Sage and whoever I'm working with.
Yeah.
Once in a while Mops will come through, or like we'll go hang out, go hiking or something with the two of his buddies. But yeah, most of the time I just sit in this room and
in that space. Well, the cover is, I mean, I worked from the picture of your studio. It's pretty much laid out how, exactly how you had it. I just put in the character inside there. In there. And then I can't remember if I ended up on the cover, because the cover had to be cropped out because it's square. But there's in the picture of your that you sent me. There's like a picture right on the desk, and you didn't tell me, but I figured it was a picture of your dad or something, because I remember seeing something or hearing you say that your dad had passed away in 2016, about the same time my dad did. But I just guessed that, so I drew like because the character sitting in the chair is like this alien kind of like multiple arms, octopus arms character. So that the character in the photograph is also like a little it's a tiny little thing, but it's a little kind of like octopus looking dude. I can't remember if that's on the cover, if it got cropped out or not. Oh cool.
Was that a photo of your dad?
Yeah, it was. I'll show you right now. This one right here.
Yeah. Yeah, and in because the photograph that you sent me was kind of a smaller photo. I couldn't like blow it up and see it. I just knew it must have been some sort of photograph in there. So yeah, I'm glad that you reached out to me about that. It kept me wanting chatting with you, and everything kind of goes on, because my whole working with anybody and doing anybody in any of the podcasts came from Sage Francis agreeing to be on our show way back then. He was the first one to agree to be on the show, and so ever since then, they kind of legitimized our show. You know, like other people were like, "Oh, Sage did it. Yeah, we'll try it. We'll do it." And then I started building friendships with other people. So I'm very grateful to him, and I've been a huge Sage Francis and Strage famous fan. So, well, man, I appreciate you having you on. I appreciate you coming and being on the show with us. It was awesome to get to know you even more. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you, man.
Peace.
Bye.
I sit alone with these pieces I've never shown through heavy seasons. I lean up on needles and stunted growth, barely breathing. Needing a reason to lead in hope, tortured heathen. Rowing up seas with a heaving hoe, I'm never sleeping.
Well, that was Alexander Brown.
Yeah, super nice guy.
Yeah. When I first saw him, I don't know why, but he sort of had like your brother vibes a bit.
I think it's the ski on the end of his name. I think it's that Polish, because we're from my grandpa is from that same region. It's now Belarus, but that's right next to Poland. So yeah,
you sensed that too. He kind of had your brother.
He looked like he was one of my cousins or something. Yeah,
because I'd never heard him like talk and looked at him. I talked to him on the phone. We've texted back and forth, but I've never like been looking at his face and heard him talk. But when I was watching him on that podcast last night, I was like, whoa, it's very much like your brother.
Yeah, he probably has some Jewish in him or something, which is, I think, where I get that same kind of skin tone. Because I'm the same way. It's like I just go outside for a couple hours and
go brown.
And I'm brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really cool to talk to him, and I wish I could have finished up the drawing a little bit more. Took a lot out of me when I was coming up with it earlier today. So
no, it's good. It's cool. I like the Billy the Kid thing. That's funny that he loved that movie so much.
I know. I shouldn't have kept going.
I loved it too. Yeah, your quotes are funny.
I love that movie.
Oh, it's gonna end.
I know, and I'm
just kidding.
I'm the one that I always, when we're hanging out with people and they start quoting movies, I'm like, okay, that's enough. So, but
you just got them all out.
I had to. I love that movie so much. It's so good. It's my go to sleep movie. It had been for years. What else? Was there anything else that we should touch on?
No. I think we both had a really good time talking to Alexander Brown.
I thought you were going to ask him why he didn't have any vowels in his name.
No, I wasn't. I know that's a thing. How come you have so many vowels in yours?
That's all I have. I took all his vowels. Oh, all right. Well, I guess... I
think that's a good note to end on. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe.
Yeah.
If you like Tai's drawing, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. Or if you happen to think that Ada, the AI, is a good thing or a bad thing, leave a comment.
Why are you bringing Ada into this?
Because we talked about it in the
I know,
beginning.
but I hate her guts.
Let us know in the comments how you feel about Ada. And
also, be sure to check out Alexander Brown's music We'll put some links in the show notes.
And all his social medias.
Yeah.
If you're feeling bored and you want to go shopping, head over to artbytai.com.
Yep. Or Strange and for merch from strangefamousrecords.com.
All right.
Okay. Thanks everybody, and I hope you are enjoying your lives. And check all the Did you already say the Art by Tai is it everywhere? And that stupid freaking Twitter.
No, but I think they know.
I know they know, but I'm gonna just keep mentioning it, and I don't even use it. I never post there. I just want you to go follow me there, just to prove that. I don't know. Okay. All right, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Cheers. Peace.
The thoughts in my head that take place in my bed, and I don't have to lie, but I do that instead. Things that need to be said, poison in my brain like lead.
Thanks for watching this episode of DOD45. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I don't want you to ever miss an episode. Also, stick around my YouTube page for a bit. There's a whole array of videos to enjoy, including time-lapse videos, drawing tutorials, and live streams. It's like an amusement park. Now click that subscribe button and go watch another episode of DOD45. Cheers.